Alright, hey guys, what's going on? Uh, I recently uploaded a video to my YouTube channel showing what happened to me while I was at the gas station. That was the tail end of the video. What you guys don't know, this is a video that I'm doing right now just to tell you guys what happened that led up to the tail end of the video. So, I went to this gas station on 123rd and Superior in East Cleveland. It's the Marathon. They was running gas for $3.14, and I'm like, wow, So I wanted to take advantage of it. So I went in and I asked the guy behind the counter to give me a fill up. So I gave him my credit card and my ID. Well, he said that they don't do fill-ups, or they can't turn the pump on. They can't turn the pump on so I can, fill up my tank, and I will pay whatever it is after I fill up my tank. Okay, so I said, I understand this. It's a neighborhood gas station. All right, it's a neighborhood gas station. Alright, so I get I tell him, I say, alright, well, I tell you what, let me get $60 on pump 5. So I go outside, I paid with my debit card because I paid with the debit part of my card because I figured that if, whatever change I have left over, I would get it back in cash. So I go in, I go out, pump the gas came up to 56.73 right there. So it came up to 56.73. The guy owed me $3.27, which is right there, which he didn't give me back. So, or he gave me a credit thing back. So basically what I'm about to do now is go up to East Cleveland and file a report. I'm about to go and do that right now, because basically this right here, he still owe me this receipt. Credit receipt don't mean nothing. He stole my money from me, point blank simple. Yeah, I understand it's only $3.27, but still, So I go back into the store, or back into the gas station, and the young guy behind the counter was, he was still behind the counter, and I said, hey, I said, I'm coming in to get my change, from the pump. So he goes to tell me that, oh, we don't give, or no, he was asking the fat guy, and the fat guy came back and said, no, we don't give refunds. Refund? I said, this ain't no refund. I said, you owe me change. That's no refund. I said, you owe me change. So I said, this ain't no refund, man. You owe me change. You owe me whatever change I put into the tank. You owe me that. Oh, well, we don't give refunds and this, that, and the other. And then he said, get the fuck out. He told me he ain't gonna give me shit, and told me to get the fuck out. And I'm like, wait a minute, hold up. I was cool up until he said that. So I turned around, I said, wait a minute. I said, man, you owe me $3.27. I said, you're not going to trip on me for $3.27 that you owe me. So he goes, well, I don't owe you nothing. Get off my stove. This, that, and this. I'll call the police on you and all like that. So I was like, okay, fine, call the police. I was good at that point. So while I'm waiting in the store, the young dude, the young cashier pulled me over to the side and he said, look, he said, look, I'm sorry, but the cash register won't let me do a credit back to the, to your credit card. I said, well, I said, well, I'd use my debit card, so I said, just give me my $3.27 back. That should balance out at the end of the day. So he said, the cash. He was explaining to me that the cash register, something, because it's so old, is something wrong with it. So I told him, I said, you know what? Nah, man. I says, he said, he gave me the receipt back. He said, well, look, I want to give you a credit of the $3.27. This is what he wrote on the bottom right there. And this, I mean, how you going to give me a credit? And I wanted my money, I wanted my change. He didn't give me my change. It wasn't about a refund. I can understand if I came in the store and brought something and brought it back. That wasn't the case. So I was pretty much done. So I said, cool. I took the receipt. And that's when the cop came up there. Now, I was cool at that point up until the cop came. Now, the cop comes up there. I'm getting ready to go. YouTube, I'm done. The situation already calmed down. I'm about to go. Here comes the cop. He wants to hold me and detain me and all this other stuff. I says, he asked me what's going on. I said, officer, everything's fine. I says, officer, everything's fine. I'm cool. Excuse me. I'm cool. I'm about to go. Situation is dried out. So the cop was like, well, let me get your ID. I'm like, you want to see my ID? Why you want to see my ID? Because I said so. Give me your fucking ID. I'm like, okay, you know what? Here, my wife told me not to be confrontational no more. So I give him my ID. He ran me, came back clean. Of course, I'm clean. Everything's in order. Driver's license clean, insurance, all that good stuff. So I go out. Before I can even go out, I asked him for my ID back. I said, man, I have my ID, please. So he was like, no, I want to know why the fuck I was called up here. And I was like, okay. I said, everything cool. Everything's all right. I said, the guy explained to me, and I'm going to leave with that. And he wouldn't let me go. He was like, okay, I'm about to detain you. I'm like, okay, man, really? So I go, I'm like, all right, I tell you what, I go grab my phone, come back, and then as I'm coming back, man, I tell you, 4 more police cars came up there. It was like 2 in the 1 and 1 in 1. It was like 4. It was like 4 or 5 of them all together out there. I was like, okay, wow. So I'm at this point, my right is not to say nothing. I left it alone. So the young cop, or the one cop, kept getting upset because I wouldn't talk. I wouldn't say anything. And I'm like, I don't have nothing to say. I don't have nothing to say because ain't nothing else to talk about. I was done talking. I was done talking. I'm like, I'm done, with the situation. I already know what to do in the back of my mind. I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going to do. And I says, officer, I'm, done. So his boy comes up. He tossed my ID to his boy, and his boy goes, well, you got now I'm getting upset with you, or I'm getting irate with you, or whatever the case, because you ain't going to tell me what happened. There's 2 sides to every story. I said, well, look, if you want a side, I said, go and ask the guy that called you. Ask for his side, because I don't have a side. That's what I told him. I don't have a side. I'm side out. I don't have a side. So he goes on, and then this other guy come. his other cop buddy comes over, and that's when he asks me like, well, did he, I asked him again, and at this point I kept asking him for my ID back. I'm like, man, I have my ID so I can go, please. So he goes, did he run? Did you run him? I says, his buddy says, no. His buddy says no. No, his buddy says, yeah, I ran him. He's clean. And then up under his breath to his buddy again, he's like, well, let's run him again. I'm looking at him like, okay, they really trying to find something to hold me, because I'm not talking, or I don't have nothing to say about the situation. So he was like, the other guy tried to explain what happened, which was all false, and he told me to shut up. So I was like, cool. So the other dude was like, oh, well, if that's the case, if that's all, it ain't no big deal. Well, actually it is a big deal, but I don't have nothing to say about it. So I told him I was cool. Then he gonna turn around and ask me, he's like, well, are you cool? I said, yeah. That's what I told the one cop. I've been cool. All this for $3.27. So now you guys are caught up to where the point of the video, comes on at, and give me a comment. Let me know if I was wrong or if I was right. Let me know. Holler at your boy, Lockout Man. Out. Hey, sorry for the video. I'm in my car as always. So I get back with y'all. Peace.